What's going on, Wolfpack? Time again for another wolfofbricks.com update. I am Jim, and of course, this is where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. So before we get into the main topic, I'd like to kindly ask you to like and subscribe. I will be sharing the giveaway contest in the next video for the Best Bin Duel. And for those of you that don't know, we will be giving away retired Lego sets every month during the year of 2023. So it's very exciting, and one of the things you need to do to enter is, of course, subscribe to that. Alright, so it's this time of year where I'm always looking forward to the new Speed Champion sets, or at least a glimpse of what they look like, and that's what we're going to talk about. Now, in the past, I have done videos where I talk about Speed Champions in a very positive way, and then other videos I talk about in a not so positive way when it comes to reselling, because there have been times where Speed Champions sets have just been over hoarded, and I announced that I was going to take a pause and not purchase any Speed Champion sets and another theme that was in that video for some time. So whenever I was starting to put the material together for this video, I really didn't have a lot of high hopes when it came to the ROIs. But I promise you, if you stick around to the very end, you will be pleasantly surprised, just like I was, at what the ROIs are. Alright, so you are looking at Lego Shop at Home, and you can see that all of these sets will not be available until March 1st, which actually isn't that far away. We're almost at the point where we'll have less than 8 months for Q4. So time is ticking by. It's still January, but time is ticking by, folks. So this set right here, the Ferrari 812, love this set. And, you know, whenever I was looking at this set, I said to myself, are we at the point where Lego needs to stop making Ferraris? And I said, no, absolutely not. It's not like those Lego Hulkbusters where I say to myself, geez, if Lego puts out another Iron Man Hulkbuster set, I'm just going to lose it. Because, I mean, I'm overdosing. I've been overdosing on those Hulkbuster sets. But this is a very beautiful set. I love the yellow race stripes. Red, I love the color. It's usually always red, and I'm just fine with this. This is a very, very attractive looking Ferrari. And of course, the price point is up $5 more than the previous Ferrari, and that Ferrari was up $5 more from that previous Ferrari. So things are going up. Next up is the Panjani Utopia car. Love this car. This car looks really good. All of them look pretty good. There's one that I'm not too much of a fan of. I'm sure it's not going to be that much of a surprise. But this car is amazing. And again, it comes out on March 1st. We do have another amazing car. It's all amazing. It's just all amazing. It's insane. And it's amazing. We have the Porsche 963. Again, I love the Porsche. This one is the racing Porsche, which I'm happy they did, because last time it wasn't necessarily the racing Porsche, the Porsche 911, the white one, that is. So I love this. I love the variety that Lego does with its Speed Champions. And then you have the McLaren. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of McLarens. I've tried to get into McLarens a lot. Whenever a McLaren would pull into my garage, I would say, oh, that's a cool car. But let me tell you, I'm just not a fan of McLarens. But the good thing about this set, and of course that doesn't mean that this set isn't going to do well on resale, but the good thing about this set, if there is a silver lining, is you're getting 2 cars for $34. Not sure if they're going to be a little bit smaller or not. So it is at a higher price point than the other. So if you have a good ROI, you won't just be having a good ROI. You'll also be having a larger profit whenever it comes to this set. So if you say to yourself you enjoy reselling as a hobby, or maybe it's more than a hobby to you, and you want to rev up your reselling business, consider joining our Patreon. Of course, we have our one-on-one consultations, we have our monthly group chats, we have plenty of exclusive videos that you just can't get anywhere else, and of course we have 2 to 3 videos that we release every month. And I am very passionate, if you didn't know, about making sure every Patreon member is ungated with Amazon. We have a 100% success rate, and we're going to keep on having a 100% success rate. So if you're wanting to kick your reselling business into gear and do what over 250 people have already done, you should consider joining our Patreon. Again, the link is in the description below. All right, so now we're going to look at some past Speed Champions. Now, I pulled all the cars that were single cars in 2020. I left out the double car sets. You will see them in the Excel spreadsheet. And this one right here, I mean, when this set came out, this was so beautiful. Again, it's a Ferrari. I believe this was the first 8-stud Ferrari that came out, and they changed the sizes from the 6-stud to the 8-stud. The current buy box price on this is $49.95. And when you go to Camel 3X, you could see it was a pretty steady incline. I mean, there really wasn't any stagnation. I mean, it just kept on going up and up and up. There was some price action. This car has been selling up at various prices, as you can see with the blue lines. Looks like the highest was $53.99. Then you had the Speed Champions GTR. Again, current buy box price is $54 and change. When you go to Camel 3X, now there was a little bit of stagnation, and here's the deal. I've said this many times in the past, so this shouldn't be a surprise. If you're wanting to consider going into Speed Champions, and there are 4 or 5 sets out there, I wouldn't just go after one. I would consider playing the field. I think this is a very safe bet to do, and you're not at risk to miss out on the performance of that one Speed Champion that's doing very well if you do play the field, right? So just consider that if you are considering getting into Speed Champions. And finally, the 1985 Audi Sports Quattro S1. This was a set that I absolutely hated. I actually got into an argument with one of my friends because he absolutely loved this set. And here's the deal. If you say to yourself, man, that's such an ugly set, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to do bad if we're talking Speed Champions. And the reason why that is I remember back whenever there was the Fiat Speed Champions, and I said to myself, Fiat Speed Champions, I'm not going to do that. Who's going to do something like that? And so I just ignored it, and I was like, that's the one set I'm not going to buy, right? But you should play the field. And when I looked on Amazon, I was like, wow, this set it's not going through the roof, but it had a bigger jump than the rest of them. And it's probably because the inventory wasn't as in surplus as some of the other ones, because it was such an unattractive car. Now, I didn't have any of these at the beginning, but I did have a reseller buddy that was like, listen, I just need to get out of Lego reselling. Can you take it off me? And I said, sure. So I took that and a bunch of Minecraft and all that other stuff. So I do own this set at a decent discount. And when you go to Camel 3X, and you can see right here, after a little bit of constipation, it was totally off to the races. That's just through the roof. So you did have to bear through that, which is fine, right? Because you could see in July, like, who's buying a lot of things in July, right? July and August are some of the lowest selling months of the year. So, that's okay. Now, when you go to the Excel, you can see right here, again, this is something that was released in 2020. I wanted to pick out sets that are more recent than not. I didn't want to go back to 2019, 2018, because this is historically a set that you should be able to flip rather quickly and make some decent money. In the past, I was able to purchase some Speed Champion sets that retired in July, and then I would be able to sell them in December for somewhat of a profit. So it's not terrible, but it is a little bit longer wait. But when you look, the Amazon ROIs are pretty good. On the Ferrari, again, that's a staple, 212%. On the Nissan, which actually was a pretty cool car, 244. Now, whenever you look at the eBay, so I tried to calculate the percentages for eBay, and whenever I did that, I just did a couple, and I was like, man, this is hardly doing anything. So it's estimated around 30% that I estimated / guesstimated on. And you can see the hold times right there. The hold times are anywhere between 13 and 14 months if you were to have picked these sets up the month they retired and sold them today. So really not that bad. A lot better than what I thought it was. And, I've said in the past that I love the Speed Champions, but whenever it comes to the ROIs and the holding and the hoarding and the storage and all that stuff, it was starting to turn me off. But who knows? I'm still going to keep my buying of this theme on pause, but who knows? In the next year or two, I might go ahead and change that. That's it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.